Good afternoon. Welcome to Mario's One Stop Shop Happy Hour, where we're recording today from Scottsdale, Arizona. And I'm very proud to introduce to you my nephew, Ciro Affronti, who recently published his own book. It's a book for millennials, the Millennials Guide for House Hacking. And thanks for taking some time out today, Ciro, to talk to us about this. What was the inspiration that you had when you decided to write this book?
Well, house hacking, it's something I've done. I've been experienced in real estate investing with my family, so I've had a lot of exposure to it at a young age. And I wanted to get into real estate investing myself. And I found this was the best way to get into it with the lowest amount of money and having to come up with down payments. So I found it was a great way to get into real estate and enabled me to get a lot of units at a young age and pretty quickly. And then it had a side benefit of being able to live for free and lower my expenses. So I had a lot of success with it, and I did it twice, and then just wanted to kind of give back, do a little side hustle and write this book and kind of share my findings and maybe get a little community going.
So what exactly is house hacking?
So house hacking is basically a kind of a different way of looking at your living and your primary residence. So I kind of like to think of it as turning your primary residence from a liability into an asset that actually generates you cash. So the idea is to rent out part of your house or part of the property that you're occupying in order to offset the mortgage, or in a lot of cases even cash flow and make a profit, kind of like having a rental property while being in it at the same time.
Okay, so this is a formula that you've come up with or have expanded on that could help millennials, young people that are working and are trying to get into home ownership. This is something that you've put together to try to help millennials or the parents of millennials to help get them out of the house.
Yeah, exactly. You don't have to live in the basement. But yeah, it's a fantastic thing to do, especially, and it's not just for millennials, but I kind of targeted toward that audience because not only am I a millennial, but we kind of have that flexibility, and we're not kind of stuck into the traditional way of owning. You have to own a home and the whole white picket fence and the whole deal. So I think that flexibility for that millennials gives us a good advantage, and it's a way to really help and take advantage of that.
What are some of the house hacking strategies that you talk about in the book?
Yeah, so I talk about three main strategies. So the first, and this is the one that I've done, and one that I think kind of has the most impact, is purchasing basically a 2 to 4 unit property, so a duplex, a triplex, or a fourplex, living in one of the units, and then renting out the rest of them. So I think that's a good way to get into the multifamily game. That'd be the first one. The second one talks about basically renting out part of your existing, so buying a single family home and then either renting out spare bedrooms. A lot of places, so on the East Coast, they have small amount of room, so a lot of people are really challenged with being able to afford homes. So you can, I know people, and I talk about it in the book, who actually got partition walls and divided off part of their living room, lived in their living room and then rented out their bedrooms.
Wow. Got
their mortgage paid for, and that enabled them to get into home ownership, versus having to rent. So renting out your single family, and then the third would be utilizing accessory dwelling units. We call them ADUs. So like a casita, depends on where you are. Some places call them casitas. You might know them as mother-in-law suites. So getting a property that has that, or that is able to have one built on it, and then renting out that part of the property. That way you're kind of separate from other people.
So you've primarily done this out here in the Phoenix, Scottsdale, Arizona area.
Yep.
What kind of financing have you been able to secure in order to get this done? With a low down payment? How does that work?
So this is why I even wanted to write the book. This is the main thing I think where this has the most benefit is if you buy a property, even if you can go up to 4 units and still qualify for FHA residential financing, so you don't have to get a commercial or an investor loan. So you can get an FHA loan, and if you're a first-time home buyer, you can get a first-time home buyer loan. So a lot of times those can be as little as 3.5%. That was my first loan, is 3.5% down on that mortgage. And then typically I think it's about 5%. So the advantage is you're able to get the lowest financing because it's an FHA loan and it's an owner-occupied loan. The lowest financing with typically the best rates and the lowest amount down. So you can get into a property for, I think I got into my first property for about $8,000 now, which
Wow.
is just, yeah, you can't really do that if you're buying a duplex and triplex as an investment.
Okay.
Yeah.
So some of the millennials don't live in an area like Phoenix or Scottsdale. They'll live on the East Coast. They live south, like in Florida or Texas.
Yeah.
Will this work in those areas also?
Yeah, I think depending on where you are. So I was able to go as far as actually getting paid basically to live in my duplex that I bought at first. So I actually rented out the second unit and then got a roommate for the second bedroom, and I actually cash flowed every month while living. So we're able to do that here with a low cost of housing. On a place like New York, San Francisco, or a really urban market, you can get into the property for probably about what it would cost you to rent, or maybe a little more, but you're able to build that equity. So the idea there would be to get roommates or to kind of get as many rooms, or parting off part of the living room, which is pretty common. Being able to do that can help offset your mortgage and then allow you to actually buy a place versus rent.
It sounds like part of this requires a little bit of self-sacrifice
Yes.
in your living situation. Talk about how you got yourself prepared for that self-sacrifice.
So yeah, that it definitely is. It's not the easiest way to go, and some people, it's tough to have people living at your property. And if you want that privacy and stuff, so definitely sacrificing some privacy, living in there, in order to save up the down payment. That took a while, especially I was out of college for I think a year at the time, so it's tough to kind of just start working and save up money for a down payment. So I actually lived at home for about a year, just to save enough money to buy a place. And it wasn't in the best area, the duplex that I bought, but I didn't care. I wanted to buy properties, and that allowed me to do it. So, definitely some trade-offs there, but ultimately I feel it was a fantastic decision.
So, as far as the book is concerned, the title of the book is The Millennial's Guide to House Hacking by Ciro Affronti.
That's me.
And tell us a little bit about where they can purchase this book.
Yeah, so it is currently available on Amazon. So if you just search the book or you search my name, it'll come up. It's available in two formats. So you can get it as an ebook or on Kindle. That is available for $3.99, so pretty cheap. It's a quick read. It's only about 75 pages, so not a big commitment there. And you can also get it on paperback. That is currently $7.99. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. On Amazon.
So the message today on Mario's one-stop shop, marioshomenews.com, the message for today is both for millennials and also for parents of millennials. We have a lot of parents that come to me and they want to be able to help their children buy their first property. This is a good place to start with this book, The Millennial's Guide to House Hacking. And also, if you'd like a free consultation, as always, you can give me a call at 305-598-1600, and we'll come to you, or you could come to our office, and we'd be more than happy to explain these strategies to you, especially in the state of Florida. But if you're outside the state of Florida, is there a number they can reach you if you're outside the state of Florida?
So you can always go on my website and then you can email me through there. So it is millennialhousehacking.com, or just go find me LinkedIn, Google, I'll be out there. But website or send me an email. Yeah, always happy to help out.
So thanks for taking time today, Ciro, with the one-stop shop. And we appreciate it, and we wish you a lot of luck with the book.
Thank you. Yeah, appreciate it.
Very well written. Thank
Awesome.
you.
Appreciate
Thanks
it.
a lot.
Yep.